G'day Spurs fans, Paul Hotspur hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. And thank crikey, we've got football coming back in a few days because there ain't been much to talk about, so I haven't been saying anything. But there's been some exciting developments in the world of Premier League TV coverage that I want to have a rant about and give you my 2 cents. So they're mooting the idea that from next season, there will be extra kind of fly on the wall coverage, I don't know what you'd call it, twat coverage, which includes cameras in the dressing rooms, interviewing players at halftime or managers at halftime, interviewing subs as they come off the pitch. Now, while this may be appealing to some of the TikTok generation or some of those people out there that are feeling entitled because they're paying, well, I mean, I can understand in some ways because people are paying through the nose to watch games on TV, that they deserve more. And we want to know more about what goes into a game of football. My take is I think it's disgusting, absolutely disgusting. I haven't even watched that All or Nothing documentary, the Amazon thing, when Jose was in charge. I don't want to know. I don't want to know because as soon as you stick the cameras in front of someone's face, they have to change their behaviour. So I'll give you a cautionary tale, and you can probably blame Australia for this. I think Australia was one of the pioneers of this coverage. It might have started in America for all I know, but I know in Australia, and it was about maybe 20, 25 years ago, and I think it was for Australian rules, Aussie rules football. They started doing interviews in the dressing room of the teams. And the best interview in the dressing room that I ever saw, so it's live on TV, how'd you find the game, blah, 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 blah. And one of the players, stark bollock naked, jumped into the background, did a helicopter and jumped off again. Now, I would have thought, because I thought it was quite funny, I would have thought, well, maybe there's a cautionary tale in there for you TV people. Don't go in the dressing room. And I thought, maybe, oh well, it was an experiment. They'll regret their actions and just say, oh no, the dressing room thing ain't a flyer, is it? It's not going to work. No, it didn't happen that way, of course, because the suits in charge came down on the player. He had to apologise, he got fined. In other words, he has to change his behaviour. So any player that's interviewed at half time, I guess where I'm getting to is you will get nothing in coverage from this. So it's gone from dressing room larking about and maybe players being a bit colourful in what they say, to the most blandest, mediocre coverage you can imagine. So players give canned responses to the imaginative question like, so how did you feel when you scored a goal? It's always, how did you feel? How did you feel about being subbed off? And a player probably wants to let fly or maybe just not say anything. But they're going to have to say, oh yeah, well, you know, as the team, blah, blah, blah. And it's as bland as anything. So now what they do, what they've got also in rugby league, I've seen it, they have the camera in the dressing room at half time. You just see all the players sitting there on their best behaviour. Because they know if they put a foot wrong, they're going to get fined, slapped on the wrist, suspensions possibly. They can't behave like normal human beings because the people that do the coverage and the people that watch the coverage are these, you know, it's the same party pooper wowsers that move next door to pubs and complain about the noise, you know, rich toffs. And it's all under the guise of, oh, well, you can't behave like that in front of children. Well, one, don't stick the cameras in their faces for a start. And two, children don't care about this sort of stuff. Children love all this sort of stupid behaviour, maybe not the helicopter, but stupid stuff. The people that don't like it are the mind your P's and Q's squad. the sophisticates, the rich people, the people that don't know how to have fun in their lives, and so they insist on no one else having fun in theirs. For me, I think the dressing room is sacred. I think the pitch is sacred. I don't want to see behind the scenes at all. You know, I am content with seeing the entertainment. Probably the similar reason why I don't, watch, I don't mind a bit of Elvis. But have I seen the Elvis film? No, because I know it's going to be made up. It's going to give you, it's just artistic license gone too far. And why do I need to know anything about him or his life? I like the music. Just the footballers, I like what they do. And a lot of footballers are, I don't mean, this isn't intending to sound insulting, because I'll get on to what Danny Blanchflower said about it. You know, some of them aren't the most articulate. You know, they're footballers. And as Danny Blanchflower said in an interview in 1962 with the BBC, a journalist tried, geeing him up as if footballers are stupid, And Danny Blanchflower, who himself was one of those rare breeds that was a football brain and an academic brain, said, no. Just because a footballer can't tell you exactly what they're doing, they're still doing it, aren't they? They're still smart. They've got football brains. They know what they're doing. And he used the analogy, you might ask a farmer how he tends his farm. He might not be able to describe it to you, but it doesn't mean he's not doing it. So he's intelligent. So, and the other thing I'm concerned about is if a player is being prepped that he's going to be interviewed at half time, it's going to be a distraction for him during the game, isn't it? I don't know how much of a distraction. Maybe for some players not many, maybe for some players a lot. But their mind is going to be, 2 minutes to go till half time, I'm going to be bloody interviewed now. I've got to remember what to say, calm down. You might be on the end of a 3-0 thumping at half time. And you've got to behave, you've got to be nice. What would the children say? What would the children say? It's all about the children, these rich, posh psychopaths. It's the only thing they understand, how would you feel if it's your child? That's how their morals work, It's like, well, I can apply my morals generally to how I interact with all of humanity. It's not just your child, I know for you, you only care about your child, that's it, because you don't care about, in fact, you're probably flat out caring about your own child because they've probably got a nanny and all sorts of shit. But don't put that on the rest of the world. So, it's going to really stuff up coverage. It's going to take a lot away from me, for me. I don't want to see behind the curtain. If a player can't let loose in the privacy of the dressing room, where can they let loose, That's their place. And when you're competing at that high level of sport with that adrenaline, it's really unfair and possibly even unhealthy to ask players just to sit there and be quiet and behave. And my answer is, well, if you don't like the way they behave, don't stick a camera in front of their face. They're not obliged. They don't owe us anything. I think this is part of the entitlement that some fans have. For me, it's just enough to watch a game of football. They don't owe me anything. After they retire, they don't owe me a thing. They can go off and live their lives, Seeing us win, hopefully, lots of games is enough for me. But it's all money, money, money. Money gone mad. And then, of course, you probably will get players that will thrive on the media attention. The ones that love a bit of Instagram following or TikTok following. Maybe they got a bit of sidelines here and there, I don't know. They're sort of half footballer, half influencer, which I think is going to happen more and more as football becomes more of a middle class game away from its working class roots. It used to be the case, rightly or wrongly, that people in certain circumstances, to get themselves out of the shit, or to not live the same bloody soul-destroying lives that their friends and family around them do, you could either become a rock star or a footballer. That's it. But now that there's so much money involved in the sport, it's become a bit more middle class. It's become a bit more private school available, And we're going to get more of the posh twats playing the game. There'll never be the greats, though. because the great footballers require some sort of, I think, hunger in them to do this, and love of the game, which you don't get generated out of a private school. You know, they should just stick to rugby union, you know, and you know, all the rugger buggers down the pub drinking 10 beers and throwing up into their own underpants, all that sort of stuff. So I really hope this, well, it's going to happen though, isn't it? It's going to happen, and it'll be the same as all the other stupid innovative shit that we have in football now, like VAR. Oh, well, it's there now, you can't switch it off. You can, you just go, switch. So, oh, we're not doing it anymore. The reason why you can't switch it off is because there's probably contracts and backhanders and brown paper bags to IT consulting firms, technology companies, all sorts of crazy crap going on. So they're financially obligated. The morals have gone out the window. It's not a question of is it a morally right thing or not to do. It's about cash. That's all it is, man. And I think it's disgusting. But you know, there's more in 24, man. It looks like there's going to be more in 25, but we'll see what 25 brings. Now, in other exciting news, football is back on the weekend. We've got West Ham, and I'm going to be doing I think I'm going to call it Surrey Hills Hotel Tonight, SHHT. Going to be doing a live OB from there for the stream, a watch along from the pub, and I think there'll be a lively old crowd there, Spurs versus West Ham. I'm really looking forward to that one. And there was some other news I had about the channel. I had a pause for thought there, I can't remember. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. And look, aren't we lucky at little old Tottenham Hotspur, by far the greatest football team the galaxy's ever seen, to have a manager that hails from a country with much more footballing pedigree than England has in the last 50 years, and that's Greece. Greece beating England. What's happened to England, man? I mean, for all I hear that England is a great footballing nation, and believe me, I'm not trying to bag England because I'm on Australia's side or anything like that. I'm just saying what I see, basically, is the arrogance of a country that has only won one World Cup in 1966 and has managers that very, very rarely cut the grade to go and manage overseas. Steve Perriman did with Shimzu Espulse. They have the gall to say that Ange Postecoglou doesn't come from a footballing pedigree country, that he's only managed in tin pot countries with farmers' leagues. Well, I think Greece has got the number on England as of now, and England are falling by the wayside. So thank God we've got Ange Postecoglou, a man who knows ball, managing Tottenham Hotspur. So it's not too late, folks. Get on board the Ange Postecoglou choo-choo. Destination glory. Don't worry about all the naysayers. We'll win a few games and they'll all be put back in their box. I'll probably do a live stream before the thing, but you know, there's not a lot happening in football at the moment. Bit of a break, but coming this Saturday, it's full steam ahead, and let's hope the boys learn a little bit about humility against Brighton. Maybe Ange has learned something as well, and we'll see what the result is, and we'll go out and stuff West Ham all the way back to Stratford in their crappy, not built for football, tin pot stadium. That's what we're going to do. Till next time, folks, peace and love, and come on you Spurs.